AI tracked 10 body changes when you take 5 grams of creatine every day. Number 7 shocked us. What actually happens when you take 5 grams of creatine every single day? It's not just about bigger lifts or looking stronger in the mirror. There's a lot more going on beneath the surface. We used AI-powered tracking to follow real changes over time, from strength and endurance to body composition and even mental performance. And honestly, some of the results surprised us in ways we didn't expect. This isn't guesswork or gym myths. These are tracked, data-backed insights that reveal how your body truly responds. If you've ever wondered whether creatine is really worth it, you're about to find out. Stick with us, because what showed up at number 7 completely caught us off guard, and it might change how you think about supplementation. But before we begin, drop your name and the city you're watching from in the comments below. Alright, let's get started. Number 1. Strength increases faster than you expect. Ever had one of those workouts where your strength just seems to level up out of nowhere? That's exactly what we started noticing, and honestly, it caught us by surprise. Within just a couple of weeks, lifts began to feel smoother, more controlled, and noticeably stronger, especially on big movements like squats and bench press. The kind of exercises where even a small improvement feels like a big win. What's going on behind the scenes is pretty interesting. Creatine helps your muscles produce quick energy during short, intense bursts like those final tough reps, so you're able to push a little harder and bounce back faster between sets. And over time, those small boosts really start to add up. One extra rep here, a bit more weight there, and suddenly, you're progressing faster than you expected. It's not some overnight transformation or magic shortcut, but it can definitely feel that way when you're consistently beating your previous performance. That sense of momentum? It's real, and it's incredibly motivating. So if you've ever felt stuck in your training, this might be the kind of edge that helps you break through and keep moving forward. Number 2. Muscles look fuller, even before big growth happens. Have you ever caught your reflection and thought, wait, do I look a bit bigger already? It's not just your imagination, and no, you didn't suddenly gain a ton of muscle overnight. What you're seeing is one of the earliest and most noticeable effects of creatine. When you start taking it daily, creatine helps draw water into your muscle cells, a process called intracellular hydration. Basically, your muscles hold on to more water, which makes them look fuller, rounder, and more pumped even when you're not working out. And honestly, this can feel like an instant confidence boost. Your shirts might fit a little tighter in the arms, your muscles look more defined, and you just carry yourself differently. It's not fake progress, it's a real physiological change, but it does happen before actual muscle growth starts to show. Think of it as your muscles getting primed and ready for what's coming next. What's interesting is that the scale might not move much at first, or it might go up slightly due to that extra water. But visually, the difference can be surprisingly noticeable. It's one of the reasons so many people feel motivated early in their creatine journey, because they can actually see something happening. And that early win can make it a lot easier to stay consistent with your workouts and nutrition. So, if you ever notice that quick glow up in the mirror, don't second guess it. It's your body responding, adapting, and setting the stage for real strength and muscle gains down the line. Number 3. Improved workout endurance. Struggling to push through that last set when your muscles are already screaming? Yeah, we've all been there, and this is where things started to get really interesting. One of the standout changes we tracked was how people were able to hold on to their intensity just a little bit longer. Not forever, not superhuman, but enough to make a real difference. Instead of hitting a wall early and dropping off, participants were squeezing out extra reps, maintaining better form, and finishing their sets stronger than before. What's happening here is pretty simple, but powerful. Creatine helps your body regenerate energy faster during high-intensity efforts, so when you're right at that breaking point, you've got just a bit more in the tank. And sometimes, that tiny edge is all you need. One more rep, a few more seconds, and a cleaner finish. It might not sound like much in the moment, but those small wins start stacking up fast. Over time, that improved endurance doesn't just make your workouts feel better, it makes them more effective. You're putting in higher quality effort, set after set, which leads to better strength gains and muscle development down the line. And maybe the best part? You start to trust yourself more in those tough moments, knowing you can push just a little further than you used to. Number 4. Slight weight gain, but not what you think. Worried about the number on the scale going up? totally fair. That's one of the first concerns people have. And here's the honest truth. Yes, for most people, the scale does tick up a little, especially in the first couple of weeks. But before you panic, let's put that into perspective. This isn't body fat creeping in out of nowhere. What's actually happening is your muscles are holding on to more water thanks to creatine, and over time, you may also start building more lean muscle. So while the number might increase slightly, what's changing underneath tells a completely different story. Your muscles are becoming fuller, stronger, and better fueled. In other words, your body composition is improving, even if the scale doesn't immediately reflect it in the way you expected. It's one of those moments where the mirror, your strength levels, and how your clothes fit are much more reliable indicators than a single number. Think of it this way: not all weight is created equal. Gaining a bit of water inside your muscles and adding lean mass is very different from gaining fat, and in this case, it's actually a positive sign that your body is responding well. So if you notice that small jump on the scale, don't let it mess with your mindset. Instead, focus on how you feel, how you perform, and how you look. Because chances are, you're moving in the right direction, even if the scale tries to tell a different story at first. Number 5. Faster muscle recovery. What if muscle soreness didn't hold you back the way it usually does? Imagine finishing a tough workout and not dreading the next day as much. That's exactly what started to show up in the data. One of the more underrated effects we tracked was a noticeable drop in muscle fatigue along with slightly faster recovery between sessions. It's not like soreness disappears completely, but it becomes a lot more manageable. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Creatine helps your muscles restore their energy stores more efficiently after intense training. So instead of feeling completely drained for days, your body bounces back a bit quicker. That means when your next workout comes around, you're not starting from zero. You're coming in with more energy, more strength, and a better ability to perform, and that makes a bigger difference than you might think. When you recover faster, you can train more consistently, keep your intensity higher, and avoid those sluggish, low-energy sessions that don't really move you forward. Over time, that consistency adds up to better results, not just in strength, but in overall progress. So while creatine isn't some magic solution that erases soreness overnight, it does give your body a helpful edge. You feel a bit more ready, a bit more capable, and a lot less held back. And sometimes, that's all you need to stay on track and keep pushing toward your goals. Number 6. Cognitive boost. This is the one that caught a lot of people off guard. When most people think of creatine, they picture bigger lifts and stronger muscles, not sharper thinking. But here's the twist. Creatine doesn't just support your body, it also plays a role in how your brain produces and uses energy. And that's where things get interesting. Some users started noticing small but meaningful changes during their day-to-day routines. We're talking about better focus during long work sessions, a bit more mental clarity when tackling difficult tasks, and less of that midday brain fog that usually slows you down. It wasn't dramatic or instant, but it was consistent enough to stand out. That subtle mental boost made it easier to stay locked in and get through demanding tasks without feeling completely drained. What's happening behind the scenes is similar to what occurs in your muscles. Your brain gets a more efficient energy supply, which can help support cognitive performance, especially during mentally demanding situations. It's like having just a little more fuel in the tank when you need it most. Now, to keep things realistic, creatine isn't a magic fix for poor sleep or a total replacement for your morning coffee. You'll still need those basics dialed in, but as an added bonus, that slight mental edge can make a noticeable difference over time. So, while you might start taking creatine for physical gains, don't be surprised if you also feel a bit sharper, more focused, and ready to take on whatever your day throws at you. Number 7. Improved sleep quality. Now here's the one that genuinely surprised us, and honestly, we didn't see it coming. A number of participants started reporting improvements in their sleep over time. Not necessarily sleeping longer hours, but waking up feeling more refreshed, more recovered, and actually well rested. You know that kind of sleep where you wake up and don't immediately want to hit snooze? Yeah, that kind. What makes this interesting is that sleep quality isn't something most people associate with creatine at all. It's usually all about strength, performance, and muscle gains. But when we looked closer at the feedback, the pattern was hard to ignore. People weren't just imagining it, there was a consistent trend of deeper, more restful sleep showing up over time. The exact reason isn't fully clear yet, but there are a couple of solid theories. One is that reduced physical fatigue from better recovery plays a role. Your body simply isn't as stressed, so it can relax more at night. Another possibility is improved cellular energy balance, which might help your body regulate its natural recovery processes more efficiently while you sleep. Now, to be clear, creatine isn't a sleep supplement, and it's not going to fix poor sleep habits overnight. But this subtle effect, it adds up. Feeling more rested can improve your workouts, your focus, and your overall mood throughout the day. So while it might not be the reason you start taking creatine, it could end up being one of those unexpected benefits you really appreciate, and once you notice it, it's hard to ignore. Number 8. Increased training consistency. Ever find it hard to stay consistent at the gym, even when you want to be? You're definitely not alone, and this is where things started to click for a lot of people. One of the most practical and underrated benefits we noticed wasn't just physical, it was behavioral. As workouts began to feel better, strength improved, and recovery got easier, people naturally felt more motivated to show up again. It's not about forcing discipline every single day. Instead, it becomes something you actually look forward to. When you know you're performing better, lifting a bit more, or pushing a bit further than last time, that sense of progress becomes addictive in a good way. You start chasing that feeling. And that's where the real magic happens. It turns into a powerful feedback loop. Better workouts lead to visible results. Those results boost your confidence, and that confidence keeps you coming back. Before you know it, consistency stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a habit. Because at the end of the day, real transformation doesn't come from one perfect workout. It comes from showing up again and again. And anything that makes that easier, that's a game changer. Number 9. Minimal side effects for most people. Worried about whether it's actually safe to take creatine every day? That's a totally valid question, and the good news is pretty reassuring. For most healthy individuals, a daily dose of around 5 grams is widely considered safe and well tolerated. In fact, the majority of people in our tracking didn't report any negative side effects at all. That said, a small number of participants did notice some mild bloating in the beginning. Nothing extreme, just a bit of fullness or discomfort as their body adjusted. The key thing? It didn't last. Once their system got used to the extra creatine, those feelings usually faded away on their own. One simple tip that made a noticeable difference was staying properly hydrated. Since creatine draws water into your muscles, drinking enough water helps your body handle that shift more comfortably. It's a small habit, but it goes a long way. So if safety has been holding you back, there's a solid track record to feel confident about. As long as you're using it responsibly and listening to your body, creatine can be a safe and effective addition to your routine. Number 10. Long-term muscle growth potential. So what actually happens when you stick with creatine for months, not just weeks? This is where it really starts to prove its value. At first, the changes might feel small, an extra rep here, a bit more weight there. But over time, those improvements begin to stack up in a big way. As your strength increases, your endurance gets better, and your recovery becomes more efficient. Your workouts naturally become more productive. And that's the key difference. You're not just training, you're training better, session after session. That higher quality effort adds up, leading to more noticeable muscle growth compared to training without it. It's not some overnight transformation, and it doesn't happen instantly, but that's actually what makes it so reliable. Creatine isn't about quick fixes or shortcuts. It's about giving your body a consistent edge so that all the hard work you're already putting in pays off more over time. Think of it as something that quietly supports your progress in the background, helping you get more out of every workout. So if you're playing the long game, and that's where real results happen. Creatine is one of the most dependable tools you can have on your side. So after tracking all these changes, one thing is clear. Creatine isn't just hype. It's one of the most effective and well-researched supplements out there. But here's the real question. If something this simple can create so many changes, why isn't everyone using it consistently? Have you ever tried creatine before, or are you thinking about starting? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more breakdowns like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.